Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 280. We're missing Miss Click and Nate. Nate's he last time he popped in 5 minutes before we ended, and then he hung out for the after show. So I don't know. Maybe he'll show up for that and then the after show. And then Click should be back next week. She just has some stuff going on. But we did have a pre-show. OJ held that up. How we doing, OJ?
Good, man. Good. Fun pre-show. Had a lot of people there. A lot of people came over. And we were able to clear up the whole issue that you had on the channel because a lot of people still didn't know that your channel was back, John.
Channel was back. We are here.
Yeah, we got that question quite a bit. So everyone's like, oh, okay, now I'll watch Newswave again, or now I'll head over there because they thought that your channel was still,
Yeah, that was after like 4 or 5 hours of the Twitter stuff. It came back. Like they removed the strike. Yeah. So, but yeah, apparently the YouTube bot is out there looking for Xbox.com. So don't be sourcing that.
Yeah, be careful with that. But shout out to everybody that came through the pre-show. Appreciate that, guys. It was a ton of fun. So thank you for showing up.
We have Dreamcast Guy returning.
Hey, it's a million degrees. So if you hear my fan, I apologize, chat. But yes, I'm back. Yes. Whoa.
Good to have Max here. We got MVG.
Hello. It's great to be
off
here.
by his private jet. Good to have MVG here. we'll actually, I think that's going to be a good topic, MVG, with Embracer Group and all of that limited runs. I'm definitely curious to hear more about that from you, and of course we'll go over all of that stuff. So good to have MVG here, though. We have RGT85.
Hello.
How are we doing there, Sean?
Good. Eating carrots.
Okay. Ooh. What? Huh? Okay. Do we after show tonight?
Oh yeah.
Okay, after show. We had that stream the other night. That was fun. You a good editing there for the recap. That was a very spontaneous stream. You were just like, I'm gonna stream, and I was like, I'll come by, and then I was like, let's play Halo.
I didn't get a chance to watch that yet. It's in my feed. I'm gonna watch it when I run tomorrow morning. But please tell me the bit. Can you guys hear me correctly, right? Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. The bit that I said, Sean, when I popped in there and I stream sniped you, is that in there? Is that in the edit?
No, it's not, unfortunately. I think he was a little timid. Because I had to tell him a few things. I was like, hey, you probably shouldn't put that in there. That's not super good.
Oh, you told him not to put it in there?
No. There was one thing specifically that I said.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it is.
But everything else was fair game. But yeah, he was probably just hesitant. I'll tell him to pay better attention to that, though.
It was a fun.
I'll snipe you again one of these days.
It was a fun video though. Overall, he did a good job on the first edit, but we get more of those stream highlights. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So make sure you check that out over on Sean's channel. It was a good time.
Up today.
Good time. Yeah. We got Jordan Fringe. Jordan Fringe is here.
Yes, I am here. Hello.
Good to have Jordan. Jordan, you've been keeping up with this Pokemon stuff going on?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anything good happen?
We'll get some stuff tomorrow at the closing ceremonies of Pokemon World.
Updates for Scarlet and Violet.
We should. Okay. I don't know if it's a full new trailer. We should get something.
Mystery Dungeon 7.
I hope. I was actually supposed to be there, but unfortunately, due to some sickness, I had to cancel my plans. And
I hope there's a new Mystery Dungeon. I'd like to use the B button next time.
Where is that taking place?
It's in London.
It's in London, my hometown.
London.
Yeah, it's in London this year. It's the first time since 2019 that they're supposed to happen every year, but it's the first one back since 2019. And we're also going to find out tomorrow where the next one gets taken place. And there's a rumor that it's going to Detroit.
Nice.
Why?
Really?
Okay.
There's a
good
theory.
question.
Because it's Detroit's the Motor City, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's motorcycles in the next Pokemon game, right?
Okay.
That's no way.
Motor City.
No
and
way.
there's also a potentially leaked image that said Detroit. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Vehicles. They used to make
interesting
Fords
decision
there.
on everywhere on the US you could pick, and you go, you know what? It's time for Detroit.
It's cheap. It's like, let's save money and find the cheapest.
Listen, they've been in Hawaii, they've been in DC, San Diego, they've been all over London now.
Maybe you got to take another trip there. It's
Detroit.
fine. No one's gonna be like, man, we got to go to Hawaii again.
Yeah. Damn, Australia. Well, whatever.
It is the home of Little Caesars, though.
Oh,
Detroit is?
It's also home of Mom's Spaghetti.
Wait, it's the home of Little Caesars? Okay.
I also love the movie Escape from Detroit. It was it's pretty good.
When
Good movie.
Is that the third
my parents moved when I was in high school. They moved to an outskirt of Detroit because my dad's job took them up there. And like this was at the time when like Little Caesars was pretty much completely scorched and there was like none there. And we went to the original, like there's like one It's like the first Little Caesars there, and it was still very popular in Detroit. And I'm glad they came back because Little Caesars is delicious.
Well,
Kept me alive.
That's a controversial opinion. All right.
I don't. You have to factor in price into it, and when you factor in the price of a pie, you're getting a quality pie. If somebody says you want Little Caesars or Pizza Hut, I want Little Caesars. I'm going to save money.
Well,
I'm still going to get a good product. It's not going to be the best, but it'll be good.
East Coast people call pizza pie. That's weird.
I just love it for like
Call
those
it pizza.
shitty early 2000 LAN parties when you're all playing Halo in the house. There's like 10 TVs and 28 sweaty guys. You just get a stack of Little Caesars for like $30.
And now you got Crazy Bread. They have wings, Caesar's wings.
They got stuffed crust pizza at one point.
The wings
are
disgusting. The wings are actually disgusting.
Gene Park says Little Caesars is good for the price. Look, at one point there was a Little Caesars by my shitty apartment, and me and my best friend, the one with the Nintendo DS Lite, we used to go there every day, and like I would be like, all right, you going or I'm going, and we'd always get hot and ready pepperoni for $5, and then you get like a thing of Crazy Bread for $3.
It was the college pizza. I remember one opened up here by the college, and it was like this big event. It was like Little Caesars $5 pizzas here, and they opened right next to a liquor store. So you go up there, you grab the Little Caesars, you get the terrible beer, was it like Natty Ice, and then you go back to the dorm, and everyone's all hyped up about like 10 pizzas for like $30.
Dude, that sounds delicious.
If you're talking about the one by me,
your Natty Ice tasted like stale bread.
If you're talking about the one up by me, that had to shut down because of most of its money was coming from drug sales, apparently.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, you're right though, Sean. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't eat Little Caesars all the time. So like in the past because of the price. So
and it was
like
instant. I just like that it was instant.
Yeah,
you walk in and like, I want a pizza, and they go, well, I got one here underneath my desk. There you go, buddy.
Well, the thing of it is like, most of the time when I order out for pizza, if it's not grandma's pizza, I'll get, from a nice Italian restaurant around here because there's a dime a dozen. But just once in a while, man, I just want a Little Caesars pizza. Like I want a shitty quality, decent pizza.
I want to say super fast. My dad used to deliver pizzas for this weird high-end pizza place, like $100 pizzas. So the tips were crazy. So he had his day job, but he did that at night because it just paid, like the tips were just bonkers. And he had this time where he was driving his car and he ended up making so much money off that he bought a little Kia Rio to deliver the pizzas in. Just that's how much the profit was. So he was doing that. And one day he got T-boned by an 18-wheeler and it crushed the whole car in around him. So much so that the passenger side thing ended up stabbing into his face. They had to jaws of life him out. And when they pulled him out, the pizza was in his lap and he was eating it. And he said, you should probably take the rest to them. So dad has scars on his face from that. He's like, it was good pizza.
He's almost dead, but he's eating pizza. I guess, man.
He was like, it took him a long time to cut me out of there. And I knew no one else was going to hit me.
He must have played like those Ninja Turtles games back in the day. He thought like,
yes, yeah, I had to refill my health.
I kind of want to see what $100 pizza looks like, but
it was good. He would bring it home if people didn't get their order, they'd bring it. It was freaking great.
I think the most I've ever paid
gold pizza.
I paid like $35 for a large pie one time.
That's a lot.
Like fancy.
See, I only call pizza pie if we're talking about deep dish because that resembles an actual pie.
Deep dish is
that's like a loaf of bread.
I agree with Jordan. That does resemble a pie.
Yeah, that's a pie. I don't call regular pizza a pie because it's too flat to be a pie.
Thin crust or get out of my face.
True. See, Sean's always right.
Unless it's stuffed.
Oh, it's stuffed. Okay. Then we have Evan.
Yep, I'm back.
Evan's here, back from the LAN party. It was a short LAN party.
It was a week. What are you talking about?
You did like a month last time.
You didn't take like a month last
3 weeks later, is Evan here?
The month is coming later this year.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay. Then, all right. But we have some fun stuff to go over tonight. We have leading into Gamescom. There's Amazon started to leak stuff. This random footage of games started to pop up. So the Gamescom show might be better than last year. We'll see. We'll talk about that. We have Death Stranding on Game Pass. That was an interesting reveal. And then we have Embracer Group buying everyone. Well, yeah, Embracer Group just buying everything and anyone. It was kind of wild stuff. All that stuff dropping at like 12:30 at night, and it's just mass confusion there for a while. So we'll go over all of that. Evan, you want to hit us with a Discord question to start?
With a limited budget, which would you get? Steam Deck, Switch, or PS5?
Wait, was it? What was it? With a limited budget?
Would you get either a Steam Deck, Switch, or PS5?
I think like PlayStation 5 with the new subscription service, starting out, you could play Miles Morales and God of War and everything. I think that's your best bet.
Limited budget is interesting because
Xbox Series S.
That's not on the list.
Wouldn't it be Steam Deck? Because Steam prices are pretty low.
Steam Deck long term,
to the TV.
Yeah, but it would take you forever to get it. But long term, it would probably be the best for value.
Yeah, because you could go on Humble Bundle and buy like their bundles of games for like $8. The Steam sales are crazy, and you don't have to pay for online technically.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess if you can get it, that's the problem. It's like if you can get it. But otherwise, it's just that's
the same.
Others, so.
That's a similar problem with a PS5 though. If you can get it,
you know what's interesting? It's getting actually a lot easier to buy a PS5. Like I randomly got an email from Sony the other day. It's like, hey, PS5s are ready. Go ahead and buy it.
One of my friends just got one finally.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, Sony actually is trying to stock that thing a bit more now. So hopefully people are able to get it this year, especially in the holidays when it's going to be nuts. But I also see them on Craigslist. They've fallen in price quite a bit. Like they're just PS5s on Craigslist right now for like $550. So that's basically, if you walked in a store, tax on top, it's already gonna be close to that. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, another Discord question, Evan?
What game do you think will get snubbed the hardest this year at the Game Awards?
Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yep.
Xenoblade's going to be in the game. It's going to be in the Game of the Year category. It'll be in
no way.
I think it's going to be in the Game of the Year category because the problem is because I actually made a video about this. There's a lot of stuff they got, like the Hogwarts game got delayed. The Marvel Midnight Suns game got delayed. So everything's kind of getting delayed to next year, which could potentially do the snubbing. So I thought maybe it could get snubbed, but now after all the delays, I'm thinking it's probably going to be there.
I'll tell you what's going to get snubbed. All right. It's going to be Halo Infinite. All right. This game, by the way, I was wrong last week.
In the first
87 on Metacritic. I thought it was 80s. It went up a point. 87.
That's disgusting.
87. So if Splatoon 3 needs to beat an 87. That's the first thought. I was wrong about that. But I mean, one of the best rated games of the year then, right? Up there, I was looking on the list. It's in like the top 6.
Disgusting.
Now Halo already got kind of his time last year when everyone basically went through the bracket and voted for it for like the player's choice game. You know what? It'll probably be an indie title to get snubbed that a lot of people enjoy. And like you see these ones coming out, like Roller Drome is really fun. Cult of the Lamb, people will love Cult of the Lamb. Like it's gonna be a game like that probably releases around the time the Game Awards happen. So I'm thinking like mid to late November, and everyone's talking about it, like, why isn't it there? Something like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is
the Shredder's Revenge is going to get snubbed.
I will be a very mad person.
Yeah,
Jeff Grubb, you're in here. You son of a bitch. You put that on your ballot.
I'm about to get the platinum in that game. Oh my god, I'm so Shredders.
I wonder what it would be under. Like do they have multiplayer game?
Family game is one of them.
You put it under Game of the Year.
No.
Action Game of the Year.
And what happened?
That was because I was on xCloud. I think that's an xCloud
the future.
Problem. Yeah.
The future. Hey, why are you playing on xCloud?
No one knows. Sean was like, I gotta walk upstairs and get the Xbox.
I didn't want to bring
5 minutes.
my Xbox downstairs because it's a large thing and I had to move stuff on my desk. And I was just like, I'll just use xCloud because this is what's happening. This is what's good. It's not what's good.
Can you explain to them your setup for a second here?
With xCloud?
With your computer.
What do you mean? I was streaming.
So here's what was happening. Sean was streaming. He's downstairs in the basement, running all of this through Wi-Fi. So he's streaming. Is your router upstairs?
Yeah.
Your router's upstairs. You're streaming wirelessly from your computer while also trying to stream a game through xCloud.
I mean,
it would work perfectly fine, right?
You would think.
No,
you would think. But that's the future. You're not locked into anything with xCloud. xCloud is supposed to be wherever, whenever.
We gotta
this is the future.
Cable, man.
I don't want to drill a hole in the floor or ceiling floor. I don't know which.
Running 100-foot cable. Fuck it.
That's trash.
No one's at your house, bitch. No one will know.
Grandma will see it. She'll get mad. She'll be like,
You know what? I actually run like really long cables right now.
Same.
You can do hardwired through your power lines, your power adapters. You seen that?
Try that. See if it works for you.
It works.
Yeah, I'll be sure to try that. Mess around with power a lot.
Yeah.
Show me the one who can like electrocute himself somehow doing that.
It actually works really well. You should take a look at it.
I want to see the Labo thumbnail for that, like with the power line adapter.
Yeah.
Hey, I put an air intake in my car.
Ford Pinto is really coming around.
Yeah, no, we tuned it today. I needed to use. Okay, so let's tell a little story.
Like real life Gran Turismo.
Yes.
Okay.
Really is.
He got bored of GT7 and had to fix his car instead.
It's like I'm done buying microtransactions in the game. I'm gonna buy some real life microtransactions for my car. Let's go.
Car still slow. Let's run what you got, Pack Racing Club. So when I moved to Delaware, I was looking for a laptop. Someone on this panel recommended a laptop to me.
That was me.
I bought the laptop. The laptop literally never worked right. Ever since day one, it literally never worked right. I ended up losing everything on that laptop a couple months ago, and I had to reformat it and reinstall Windows. Fine, whatever. For this tune, you have to have a laptop because basically you plug it into the USB port. The USB cable goes into an OBD2 dongle that you plug into your car. You flash the firmware, you flash the ECU via that. So I download all the stuff, and I'm using that computer because it has a fresh Windows install on it. It was like 2 hours long and nothing was working. And I'm like, what the fuck? So they got like their support. Someone's like remotely controlling like computer. And they're like, there's something wrong with this computer. And I was like, well, you know what? Rax, who's in the chat, he lives right up the street from me. And so I was like, he came over yesterday to help me unclip a sensor on the car. I was like, hey, can you come over again today and bring your laptop? He brought over his laptop. I downloaded the program. Literally 2 minutes is what it took, and it was done. That laptop has been the bane of my existence. It is the Jedi outcast of laptops.
Didn't you have a new MacBook Air that you just gave away for some reason?
No, well, you can, it's Windows only, Windows 10 only.
I just mean in general for like your
I have a Chromebook. I have a Chromebook, and it works great. It works great. It has a touch screen. You can flip it. So that's like that. Like I was at the point where I was going to buy a new laptop to fucking get this done because I spent a lot of money on this tune, but thankfully Rax came through. The tune is on and it is great. But the moral of the story is, if John tells you to buy a laptop, run.
Right.
This laptop I'm using, you told me about, John.
There you go.
He did send. He helped me pick the desktop. The desktop is good, but the laptop.
Oh yeah, my desktop as well. John is doing Tech Wave for all of us.
OJ's desktop didn't work out.
Nah. Well,
So
I
he
wasn't
had
gonna
to
say
ask
anything,
me
John, but
eventually.
you brought it up.
What? No. Spill this tea, please.
Do it, Dragon.
Yeah. John told me to buy it was like an iBuy Power. He recommended one, and it worked well until it just stopped working well. Like this year.
What the hell?
So I had to buy. I actually ended up not using it. It's on the ground right over here. Everything still, it just randomly powers down, like just out of nowhere, and I don't know what's wrong with it. So
50%.
yeah,
204.
And I took it to somewhere. I took it to the computer place. I tried looking at the wiring and the circuits inside my house or inside this room. I tried everything and it just doesn't work. So I had to buy a new. Evan suggested I go. What was it? The NZX. Yeah, Evan suggested that. So I ended up just buying a streaming PC from like a pre-built, like just like something that I can just get quickly. It's it's good though.
I will say,
usually John's always giving me good advice on tech stuff. So this is like the first time it didn't really work out, you know?
I will say that, no, it wasn't JB4. JB4 is a piggyback. I had a piggyback on there. This is a full ECU tune from AMR. I will say I have an iBuy Power that I bought when my all-in-one desktop blew up because that's what I used for a very long time. And it's been working great. I think computers are just weird. You know, some of them just don't work for whatever reason.
We use them hard.
I'll defend John. John got me this, and it's great.
Hey,
That is legit.
I got one.
Hey, I did say John usually gets me.
So the technology recommendations from John have paid out for me. You know,
it's honestly just a 50-50 toss up at this point.
I wouldn't say it's 50-50.
Sometimes you win, other times you get groceries for some reason.
Not wrong.
The PC really worked well. It just stopped working out of nowhere. I was shocked. Like,
But it doesn't work well.
It just powers down. When it's on, it works well until it powers down. Those decides to power down out of nowhere.
So let's go over to Gamescom and how just randomly a couple of things just start leaking out, and also something for, well, I guess it's a PlayStation showcase that is being pushed as a September thing. Because that one was weird. We'll go over. We can talk about that one first for one of the games that leaked, because it sounds like Max, you saw this one as well.
Yeah, Helldivers 2.
Yeah, footage for this thing it showed up randomly on Twitter, and Dusk Skull apparently said that they had it and they shared it with people they shouldn't have, I guess, and they just started putting it out there. That thing got DMCA copyright struck immediately. It got ripped down.
It looked great. Did you see that 10 seconds they showed?
Sure.
Dude, so for those who don't know, Helldivers was like, it's a twin stick shooter, 4-player co-op. It had a great leveling system, typical fighting alien stuff, but it was by Housemarque. It was one of the first like major successes by Housemarque, and now they're bought by PlayStation. So the next game by them, I don't know, right? Isn't it? Isn't this Housemarque?
By the way, it was in the NVIDIA leak as well. So like that thing has been almost like 100%, like everything is coming off of the board there. So hey, look out for that Final Fantasy IX remake.
Yeah,
when they release that in 12 years.
Yeah, that'll be next year or something.
It's gonna be a while.
Well, they can't, because next year is both Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 and Final Fantasy 16. So 9 remake, we're not even seeing a peep.
Seems like Tactics remaster next year. Maybe that'd be a good time to drop that.
There was that one. That's definitely. I think they're waiting until after Tactics Ogre Reborn, and right after that they'll do Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered.
So we're looking. And then Dusk Golem mentioned that apparently there's a showcase for PlayStation in September. I feel like most people assumed it was going to be there anyway, so no one was like shocked by that. So I'm curious what Sony will have to show, because it does seem like a lot of their stuff would be earlier on anyway. But
Jeff Grubb's saying Helldivers isn't Housemarque.
It's not. Who is this? I'm literally holding the box. I should read this.
Arrowhead Games, I think.
Arrowhead. Oh maybe. God, I'm mixing up my games. Look, I love this game and I beat the hell out of it. I don't remember who made it, but they're great.
Yeah, Arrowhead. They also made Magica before, which was a fantastic similar style.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I'm hyped.
It's been a bit. Yeah, that was one of the ones that came off that list that people were a bit surprised was even there. So wow, it's good to see that. I mean, it appears to be happening, so that'll be cool. That'll be a fun reveal there. Live service games, drop one of those, and hey, show us Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I think because I talked to Dusk Golem, I think that's going to be September's going to be a lot about God of War Ragnarok.
I want to also go over some of the other things that got out there that it appears to be set for Gamescom, and the other one they announced it after it seemed to kind of get leaked a bit. The first one was Lies of P.
Yeah.
So the sequel to Friends of P.
No, this is the game that looks kind of like Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like they showed it and everyone was like, is this Bloodborne? It's interesting. It's based off of the story of Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
Just interesting. Like it says in the description, you're trying to find Geppetto.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's Bloodborne. But this was put out there. The snitch put out there with a green bar and then had Morse code that appeared to point to like the story of Pinocchio, Lies of P. So then Jeff Keighley announced on Twitter that Lies of P will be at Gamescom. We'll have a new look for it. And it seems like maybe release date Game Pass news there, because that's kind of what was being hinted at by the snitch. So I think that's a good Game Pass drop if they do that. But the one that shocked the internet, and it's funny because Evan knows we've been following this for a long time. Years now. Dead Island 2. It's actually happening. I think it's hilarious because Embracer Group, THQ, they've been talking about this. Deep Silver, they've been saying that this was going to happen. They're like, no, we're going to do it. It's going to happen. We've acquired the rights. It bounced around all over the industry. People just kept kind of hot potatoing this thing around.
It was a MOBA at one point.
Yeah, it's been all.
What?
At one point, people were just like, let's just get it out there and see if the name will get us any money. But Deep Silver, Embracer Group ended up with it. And the box art leaked, the description leaked, the screenshots, and it looks like it is scheduled to release in February, and it's going to be shown at Gamescom. So that's good. That's actually a pretty big reveal.
Yeah, well, especially I'm kind of shocked, honestly, with how long it's been in development hell. Those screenshots looked pretty polished. I mean, obviously it's like screenshots, but I don't know. I'm happy that it's actually getting done finally.
It was shown in the original trailer was like 2014.
Yeah.
When I when I have to download it for Newswave, it's always 720p. It's like, oh god.
So I'm excited for that. I like Dead Island, the first. That was a fun game. I was trying to remember what I played it on. I think I played it on the PS3.
Same.
I played it on 360.
360.
I played it on both. I did. Yeah, didn't they do like almost a remake of it, Riptide, that like balanced it out better or something?
Yeah. So they. I mean, you didn't like it, Jordan?
It's okay. I think it was like one of those overpromise, underdeliver situations.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And it just felt clunky to play. It just didn't feel didn't feel like it should have felt for some reason.
I did play it too, Jordan, back then, and that's my impression, that it felt clunky. It just didn't feel great to play. And there was a lot, I don't know if you guys had this issue, there's a lot of glitches. Like glitches. Just okay. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, floating items. You have some
items. It was bad. I just didn't feel that the game was that great. Although it was fun multiplayer. If you have
co-op, yeah, dude, beating that game co-op, especially because the zombies were not programmed for 2 opponents, so they would just let you pound them. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It also came out pretty early in that generation.
I think it was 2011. Right?
Yeah, that was late. Yeah, it was later.
I think it was. I'll have to double check. I think it was like 2010 or 2011.
I was playing it. I remember I was in, because I had roommates, so I was in college. I was at Fresno State, so so it was was at least 2010, 2009.
We can look up the release. I'm pretty sure it was. I feel like it was 2011.
Oh, 2011. Okay, so it was later. What the hell? 2010, something like that.
Release date for it was September 6, 2011.
Okay, yeah, September.
Wow.
Yeah. I went, no, I graduated. I was already out.
Because I lived where I played it was at a place where I lived with my friend. So yeah, because I had to be 2011. That was 11 years ago. Yeah, okay.
Dude, the description is interesting because it kind of points towards like 6 players almost. Like I'm wondering how many people are going to be playing co-op with this online. Because it looks like they're going to have multiple character classes, unique characters, all these things. So that could actually be a lot of fun. Even if it's kind of broken, but you have like 4 or 5 people you can run around with. It could be a good time for a couple nights or something. So looking forward to the reveal, at least. That seems scheduled for this upcoming week with Gamescom, which I'm trying to figure out what we're going to see with Gamescom, which we can touch on that for a minute before we move on to the next topic, because Gamescom I always look at as like the B tier E3, C tier maybe E3,
D or E tier.
Yeah,
you're
gonna see a lot of nothing.
We already know Dead Island 2 is gonna be there.
Well, I think it's gonna be mostly gameplay. I think it's gonna be a ton of Sonic Frontiers and Lies of P, but I don't think it's gonna be too many big reveals. I think it's just gonna be like, here's gameplay, the shit you can pre-order.
I kind of think you'll have at least one. I'm almost wondering if Kojima's game is going to be there for Xbox.
No way. Didn't they just start that? Yeah, they just started that, right?
Maybe a CG trailer like the first one for Death Stranding, where you look at it and go, all right.
There was a trailer that was, people were describing the trailer like already. Like they were basically showing a trailer to see how people would react to it. That's how we got information. That's why Tom Henderson had to almost like he was getting yelled at by Kojima's Kojima Productions to take the article down because it was based on a trailer that may not see the light of day. It seemed like the trailer was like, we're focus group testing this to see what people think about it or what kind of feedback they can give us if they understand what's happening. So it seems like they've been preparing a trailer for a little while now. I almost want, and Kojima did mention on Twitter that he was finishing editing for something like a movie video file. So that's why
it's hard to say. I mean,
and if you think about it, Gamescom, that's where Kojima showed up and gave us our first real look at Death Stranding for gameplay.
True. And he is best friends with Mr. Keeley. I think sometimes there's internal reveals way before the public reveal. Like apparently there's a trailer for BioShock 4 that's been floating around for years. And, you know, we still don't even know who's exactly making that, but apparently they have a trailer somewhere, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gamescom is hard. It's hard to tell because Sonic Frontiers will be there. Maybe a release date. This game's still coming out this year, by the way, and all I'm seeing are things getting delayed. So like they keep saying it's coming out, but I don't know about that one. I mean, High on Life just got delayed. Evil West got delayed. They're both still coming out this year, but like
I think the new Callisto Protocol trailer or whatever the gameplay stuff they're going to show is going to be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The game looks better every time they show it.
Yeah.
I know they don't need it, but a demo would be kind of cool for that game.
Yeah, apparently there were some pictures that were going around on Twitter where they did like a rooftop pool party and let a bunch of influencers fly in and play a special demo, and the pool was filled with fake body parts. You could swim around with the fake body parts, and I'm like, I wish I got invited to that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Callisto Protocol looks really good. That's going to be a game that I feel like a lot of people will be talking about when the Game Awards are going on. That's actually one that people won't understand. That doesn't fit into that window for
it comes out in December.
Yeah, it comes out like right when it's happening. So it's gonna be interesting. Gamescom is it's such a toss up because I feel like I should go in not expecting anything, just nothing, and being surprised if it happens. But yeah, we'll see if Keighley can pull one off here. I mean, there's no E3 to compare it to, so at least has that. That is happening this week. 2-hour presentation, by the way, like 20-something games.
Opening night presentation.
Yeah, so half of them he's already kind of announced on Twitter. So like they're gonna show more Gotham Knights. I don't know if I need to see more Gotham Knights. They need to show less Gotham Knights.
Yeah, they released some new gameplay for Red Hood that looks bad.
Yeah,
it's like
stop showing Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Are we getting GoldenEye? Are we getting GoldenEye?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Quick question on the Gotham Knights, real quick. I saw some gameplay with Nightwing just drop. Was that fake or
where he
just fell off like a 1,000 feet and like survived? Is that fake?
Yes. No, that's real, but we don't understand. Maybe that's just some edit or something. But yeah, it looked like the one where he just jumps off the tallest building in Gotham and swan dives on the street and he was fine.
Yeah, he just lands and everything was just good.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be in the final game, but it better not be.
Okay. I don't know, man. That game is concerning from what they've shown so far. I'm hoping I'm just randomly surprised when it comes out and it's like, look how great this game is. But
I love Batman games without Batman.
Right.
I don't know. This one's gonna be.
Remember those narrative-driven Batman games? Nobody liked those.
Dude, Arkham Knight. Have you played Arkham Knight recently?
I don't like Arkham Knight.
No. Oh my God! You killed John.
You don't like Arkham Knight?
The Batmobile stuff sucks.
The Batmobile is a little too. They use it too much. Use it too much.
It's not a bad game, but if you're going to ask me out of the 4 games, which one I like the least, I'm going to say Arkham
I was going to
Knight.
ask you if you'd played it because it still looks good today.
Yeah, I played it. What did I play it on? Maybe I think it was on my Xbox actually, because I tried to give it a second chance because that was a game much like Metal Gear Solid 5 that I just wrote off and played it for like a couple hours and I was like, I ended up putting like probably 10 hours into it maybe. And
yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It just never clicked with me like the other games, like even Arkham Origins, I just got sucked in. The ending of Arkham Origins is so damn good. I love that ending. That made everything, all the issues that the game had, it made it worthwhile because just seeing, that ending scene, I was like, wow, that's a cool image. That is a cool biblical image.
I still like Arkham Asylum is still my favorite. I like that.
Arkham Asylum's my favorite.
Yeah.
I think City is
is my favorite.
Arkham City for me.
Yeah.
Asylum.
I just can't believe.
Remember when that Nate piece of shit said that I was getting Batman games on my Switch and I still haven't gotten any Batman games on my Switch?
You get that Steam Deck yet? It runs great on the Steam Deck.
I can't get they're not available.
Dude, I played Spider-Man. Spider-Man on the Steam Deck was insane.
Telling you, it's Arkham Knight still holds up. You can still play it now. Still looks visually
Arkham City still holds up.
Arkham Asylum still holds up.
Asylum holds up.
Yeah. Oh, so now you're just a graphics whore.
Yeah. We already knew this.
No,
I'm a whore for a lot of things, especially graphics.
Let's go over. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
What are some great non-Nintendo first-party games for the 3DS?
What? You said
I'm guessing great 3DS games that aren't
first-party games for the 3DS.
Maybe they're not third party.
I'm gonna say third, because Nintendo is the first party.
Resident Evil Revelations.
Yo, god damn!
I prefer Revelations, like the misspelling.
Revelations is very good.
Revelations is mind blowing how they got so much out of the system. There's I mean, let me look at my stuff here.
Yeah.
For the 3DS specifically, or like could it also just be the DS?
You got your Dragon Quest game.
Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. The Final Fantasy Rhythm game on 3DS is legit great.
Theatrhythm.
I mean, the Dragon Quest games are very good on there.
Michael Jackson, the 3D experience.
Attack of the Saiyans. That's a DS game, but you can play it. It's fine.
Don't laugh at Michael Jackson.
Shovel Knight. That's my final answer. Shovel Knight.
Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition.
Yeah, you can be the person to touch
stuff on the 3DS.
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. No love for that.
That game.
Tales of Abyss. Someone said that in chat. That's a good one. Tales of Abyss. I like that PS. That was good on the PS2. Better on the 3DS. Well, you got another one, Evan?
What do you think about the next gen Switch having a Wii U concept? I'm guessing he's saying it would be on the TV and you'd have the screen on your controller.
We've been through this.
We're all in agreement that that's a bad idea, right?
Yeah. Punching your dick in the dick a second time.
All right. I was making sure we all understand that that's a bad idea and that we need to all anticipate that that's what this is going to do.
Nintendo can't go backwards. They have to go forward.
Now they figured it out. The Switch is it. Build on it. You don't need to get fancy with it or anything. Just build on it. I wouldn't mind seeing them try a high refresh screen though in handheld mode and try to market that thing up. I don't know.
Maybe slightly better motion controls. I do think the motion controls, I don't know, I still don't think the Joy-Cons are super great. I think like something a little more responsive and one-to-one and games built for that would be interesting.
Okay. I see that. I mean, just don't do anything weird, Nintendo. Stick with it. Let's go over to Death Stranding. Panels. Everyone in agreement. The incredible game.
Yeah,
I love Death Stranding.
I do.
Death Stranding on the PlayStation 4. That was a whole topic when that came out. And director's cut that Sean actually looked at and said, "Hey, this looks cool."
But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
You have the special edition of the game,
but I don't have the director's cut.
Sorry, we interrupting your wave race time.
I am playing Daytona USA on the Xbox Series X.
What?
And I just downloaded Shenmue on it as well because I want.
Dude,
because it's Shenmue. Shenmue is god tier.
Do you see? I have my Shenmue shrine right here. It's all the Shenmue games. Where I'm trying to point right here.
Death Stranding. It's coming to Game Pass, and it was such a weird thing to see pop up because they did it like where they were trying to tease it, right? So they changed the icon to the landscape for Death Stranding, and everyone was like, "That looks kind of like Death Stranding." I'm not sure. Then they put the rain in there, and then people found the landscape in Death Stranding, and it was very weird for people to wrap their mind around because it's like that's like a PlayStation game, but it's going to Game Pass, and technically it's a Kojima Productions game that Sony helped fund and publish. It has the Decima engine. 505 Games published it on PC, so sounds like this is kind of like that MLB situation where Microsoft went to the publisher away from Sony and was like, let's get this game on here. Let's do it.
They even put achievements in the game.
I know. I saw that. I was like, that's so strange. So it'll have achievements popping up. You can use an Xbox controller to play it.
It's Game Pass for PC, right?
For PC specifically. Yep. They can't get it on console, to my understanding, because obviously Sony was a publisher on PlayStation. So there's like a whole thing there. And I almost wonder if Sony had been doing this PC push now at that time when they were getting that set up, if Sony would have been the one to just publish it on PC as well then, or if that was something that Kojima had set up ahead of time with.
So the game isn't coming to Xbox platforms.
Not now. As of now. Okay. I mean, we don't know the deals that are in place. They're all obviously confidential. But I mean, it used the Desma engine. It's pretty clear that Sony was very involved with that game and Kojima. Right. So go ahead, Max.
Is anybody know if this game has ultra wide support? Because I'm thinking of buying a monitor.
It's the PC version.
Yes, it does.
Dude, that game is so gorgeous. Even if y'all play it, look up some gameplay of that. Dude, watching that in ultra wide sounds like it'd be insane.
Yeah.
Don't play it. Just watch it because it's the same.
Well, I mean,
experience.
yeah. Look,
if
you're playing the game, you're just watching it too. That's how games work.
Here's what I will say: even if you're not interested in it,
you control it.
Well, if you're interested in it and you don't have maybe you're not interested in the gameplay itself, but you just bought a new PC, a new video card, you want to use DLSS, maybe you want to use the ultra wide. That's actually not a bad technical showcase for your hardware. Yeah. You could do it. You could look at it that way, and it's on PC Game Pass. If you already have that, you just download it on the app that's already on Windows that's already on your computer right now. So that's I have Death Stranding obviously on PlayStation and everything, but it crossed my mind to download it because I have the ultra wide monitor here just to see. Ooh. Evan, did you play it on PC?
Yeah, not ultra wide, but yeah.
You already have it. You already have the game then. Okay, yeah. Okay. So you're like, all right, cool, that's fine. Just move on. It's not the director's cut though. It's the regular one that's coming to Game Pass for PC. So I feel like that director's cut with the new content probably still timed exclusive to
that seems to be the methodology for the PC Game Pass, is to just do the basic and hope you buy the DLC.
Yes,
seems to be.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is they're going to do that? You spend $10, go up to that, and that's. I don't think this is going to get a bunch of people necessarily to sign up for Game Pass on PC, but I have noticed there was I never really hear much about Game Pass for PC, marketing wise or conversation. There was a lot of conversation around this online the other day when it popped up. Was that yesterday, day before? Because it's a Sony game that's showing up on Game Pass. So Microsoft obviously putting the Xbox logo next to it. That sparks conversation online.
I did see. I feel like if this came out before the show, maybe, but after the show, it's kind of
there have been in the weirder sides of Twitter, there were a couple people calling Kojima a traitor, saying he betrayed PlayStation, and it was funny.
It's almost like these people and these corporations operate on money, and they want money, and whoever's paying money is where they're going to go.
No, Shuei Yoshida's my friend. Kojima patted me on the shoulder. Oh my god.
I bet you this deal is probably just worked out 505. They probably told Kojima, hey, we're putting it on Game Pass with you. Okay. That's probably it.
Doesn't Sony get paid anyway in this scenario? It wouldn't.
I feel like their Destin engine's used, right? I mean, there's got to be some kind of royalty there for that. Unreal Engine gets a royalty, right?
Yeah, I feel like they do.
Oh, yeah, but I thought their thing with Desma Engine was something weird. They probably got paid, but I bet it was not as much as they want.
It is interesting to consider how it's close. It's getting closer to the Xbox, right? Where it's it's a PlayStation game on the Xbox logo, the achievements and all this just can't quite get it there. But I don't believe the show is on PC. So this MLB The Show, that's I think console only. So this would be PC only for it. So the only thing that's weird is it's tough because Microsoft kind of is they're kind of fragmenting some of this with Game Pass, where you almost got to look it up to see if it's there. They want to do this play everywhere thing, but it's not everything's on console, not everything's on PC. So it's kind of tough for them to, I guess, be able to communicate that effectively when people are just entering their ecosystem.
Well, yeah. Well, remember with the confusion when they announced all the Riot games were getting Game Pass exclusive stuff on PC, and the trailer confused people because people thought that Valorant was coming to Xbox, and it's no, Valorant is coming to Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, some of their marketing is
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna try it out now, Sean? That's coming to PC since you're a big PC gamer.
No, I'm playing Shenmue.
Hell yeah, brother! I want to play a game of Lucky Hit.
Like I said, I don't think a lot of people are all of a sudden just going to go try Death Stranding, but it's at least a way for Microsoft to I guess just hold up a game that Sony themselves actively advertised. I mean, they had Sam Porter on their banner on their PlayStation website. So.
Oh yeah, they did.
Someone just said Death Stranding is better than Metal Gear Solid 5 in many ways. What ways? Please explain.
It actually has a definitive ending as opposed to just being cut short because of funding issues. That's a good point.
But the gameplay.
I definitely prefer Metal Gear Solid's gameplay.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid's gameplay is better.
More open in action.
Mm-hmm.
I think I enjoy the world and the setup more for Death Stranding. The whole weird like apocalypse and everybody living in shelters and trying to connect to the internet and how people build stuff. I think that's great. I think obviously, freaking Metal Gear Solid wins in gameplay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm playing soccer with the local kids in Shinmon.
Oh yeah, press circle, brother.
That was the problem with that Metal Gear Solid 5 is it does feel incomplete. So that's the only issue.
Especially if you get the movie at the end of the special edition that shows you the actual ending.
I gotta give it to Sean though. He is legitimately playing through it. So when he says it's dry right now for games, he's not kidding for his mindset. 'Cause he's playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
So you'll all be playing. I'll be playing Saints Row soon.
I did Ground Zeroes back in the day. I played Metal Gear Solid 5. I didn't get super far, but a lot of things I do remember, like up until like I would say mission 15, 16, I remembered most of that stuff. And then that one mission where you have to full-ton or destroy the 4 little walker things, that was the last mission I played back in the day. I think I was like mission 15 or 16.
Big Xenoblade fan over there revisiting 2015.
I'll buy it on sale. Gotta play
Okay.
Gotta go to the tattoo parlor.
Oh hell yeah! Ask him if he's seen any sailors.
Evan, we got Discord questions over there.
With Sean talking about the DS being in the conversation for best Nintendo system last week, do you prefer the added libraries of 3DS games with the 3DS or GBA games with the DS?
Ooh.
GBA baby.
That is
GBA.
tough. There were so many games on the DS, though. Man.
Game Boy Advance has all the Final Fantasies. That, of course, wins me.
Doesn't the DS have like remakes of the Final Fantasies?
Some, but it doesn't have stuff like they put 4, 5, and 6. The first correct translations of 4, 5, and 6 were put on the Game Boy Advance.
5 was really good on that Game Boy Advance, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one.
That is actually really tough.
I would pick the DS. The DS.
Yeah.
The DS has, to me, although, Fire Red and Leaf Green are great, but Pokemon games on the DS are just like legit, like incredible. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Diamond and Pearl, Black and White 2. Those are all on the DS.
But would they bring that in? I don't. Hang on.
Oh, that would be on the DS though. So you'd be looking for like 3DS stuff then with the right? Because it's like DS to 3DS or Game Boy Advance to DS. So basically, it's like, do you want the Game Boy Advance or do you want the 3DS? Is that what you're saying, Evan?
Yeah. That was a question.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay, my bad. I misunderstood the question.
Yeah, I was trying to line it up too. Okay, so it's basically it's like the Game Boy Advance versus 3DS because the DS is available on either side.
Oh yeah, that's tough. Game Boy Advance is really good if you put it that way. I like the Fire Emblem games more on the 3DS though.
But you also lose if you're considering a DSi. You lose, and I know nobody cares about the DSi library. I thought it was interesting. You do lose all that. You lose both the Game Boy Advance and the 3DS.
Good. Throw them in the garbage.
I don't know. I might have to go with the Game Boy. Maybe the Game Boy Advance library. It's a tough one. You got another question, Evan? I'll pull up the super chats here.
For those playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which character in the main party is your favorite so far?
For playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, who's a favorite character?
From the main party. I'm guessing none of the side ones.
I'm sorry, I always forget her name, the M girl. What's and I'm trying not to spoil it. The main lady, and she always brags about how strong she is. I love her a lot.
Senna?
No.
Is that Senna? Her and Lance are the strong, or like the
the
blue hair.
Senna. Yeah, with her hair that's on fire. Yeah, I like her, and I like whenever they're like talking about their interests, and she's like, "I love lifting weights." I love that.
That's cool.
I'm putting Noah aside because that's like most people are going to go to the main character, I guess, for that. I'm probably throw it up for the main party. You can go, OJ. Hold on.
You can't think of something.
I was gonna go with Lands because within some of the flashbacks they show a different version of him when he was younger to his now, and I feel like there's a really good storyline to that they're gonna build on that I'm not to yet, but I kind of want to see it play out.
Well, I like Uni. I like her wings, and I like Tyon because he's very thorough and likes to analyze things. So like those two, they're a pair, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, Uni's cool, Tyon's cool. I like Lance, I like Mio. I kind of like, it's hard to really pick. They do a good job of balancing all of them, kind of, and they all get like their time to shine, Like Mio's cool too, though.
Tyon has some of the best dialogue, I feel like. Like when you're walking around, there's that like in between cutscenes occasionally when you're like entering a new zone. Tyon definitely has the best dialogue when he talks about new zones.
Yeah, they hit you with these flashbacks randomly, and they have some pretty good character building.
Yeah, they replaced the heart to hearts with that, which is so much better. Because I hated heart to hearts.
Everything about 3 is just streamlined. It's a very good game. Yeah,
so like heart to hearts will be like, hey, look at this heart to heart at the beginning of the game. Come back when you're level 70. By the way.
Yeah, so stupid.
Yeah, they get you through the story pretty well actually. Xenoblade 3 is paced much better than some of the other ones I played, so it's good. Everyone should play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's very good. Sean, good on that.
I just won. I got the winning can. I got to go turn it in at the store to get the.
I think you'd be surprised. Xenoblade 3 grabs you pretty quick.
By the way, Sean's a big Xenoblade fan since he's purchased all this. He said this himself, so I'm just repeating.
I do have them.
I think you're a bigger Xenoblade fan than. Well, no, I can't. I actually played through 2.
He's the biggest Xenoblade fan here. He purchased all the games. Big Xenoblade fan.
Ain't no Shenmue.
Let me go over to some of the super chats here. You got Chris, who messaged. Thanks, Chris. Jonathan says, now we know that Google AI is sentient because you spotlighted Xbox must be partial to Stadia. That might be it. That might be it. Fluxian says, I have been a ruthless glutton this week. Cake there. The Uncharted Wolf says, I'm glad you're out of YouTube jail, John. Your vids are the best part of my morning commute. Any thoughts on Dragon Ball Superhero or One Punch Man Season 3? I wanted to go see the movie because it is playing in the area here. The problem is here, there's like one showing a day and it's at like 7 o'clock at night. It's like, why can't you just put it like during the afternoon or something? So that's my other shit. One Punch Man Season 3. I've been waiting for One Punch Man to come back forever now. That and My Hero. So I'm glad One Punch Man is coming. Sean, you would like One Punch Man.
There goes my hero. Why
don't you try watching that sometime instead of the 803 run that you've seen of The Simpsons?
No, because I know I'm gonna like The Simpsons. It's comfort food. It helps me sleep. I ended up winning a tape, and I picked the Hang On tape.
Okay. Dr. Wolfstar says, anyone else wants Splitgate on Switch, or at least one modern arena shooter FPS game on Switch? Conduit 3 would be my dream, but that will never happen. Yeah, Splitgate would actually be pretty cool if they got that on the Switch.
They should bring back Unreal Championship and put it on there.
Oh, yeah. Unreal is really cool.
Those games aged so good. I love them.
Get to it, MVG. Sounds like a job for you.
What about Quake 3 Arena? Where's that?
That's Epic Games. I'm not involved in that.
Quake 3 Arena. Put that on there. Let's go back to the days of the Dreamcast. That'd be cool. Patrick says, all commercial pizza is nasty. Mom and pop shops only.
Let them know.
Yes. I mean, they are the best, but sometimes you're in a pinch.
Alfredo, no message here. Thanks, Alfredo. Then we have Jeremy says only MVG knows what a real pie is.
Okay.
Zoom says the deeper the dish, the better. This is from Couch Gaming. Says split pad bit day 1. Let's go. Alfredo again, no message. Then GH says, can Spawn say regulators really loud? I can. X Trash lost to PlayStation says, talk Nintendo employee controversy, you hypocrites. All right,
I made a full fucking video on it.
Did you? I didn't see it.
I did two full streams on it.
I didn't do it. I turned a blind eye to it.
I did a video a while ago when this stuff first came out. About a month ago, I did a video talking about it, and it's long. I did like a 20-minute video really going through each of the allegations in detail. They're terrible. They're absolutely anybody. I think honestly, to be a good consumer, you got to be knowing how games are made. Definitely read the reports.
I think most channels covered it. I think a lot. Actually, I think all of us covered it in some way. Whether it's on Twitter or on videos. Sean made a whole video. He stole the title from someone else, but he made a video on it.
Scotty Kilmer, baby, rev up your engines.
I personally, honestly, like I used to like Vaporeon. I no longer like Vaporeon as a Pokemon. I do not. After that, reading that report. So
how does that? That is weird because I thought when you go to a place of business like that, like MVG, you ever just go, let me Google this and drop this into our business chat. That's for the company. That's weird. I feel like I wouldn't be typing that kind of stuff in there.
There's crazy stuff. The Blizzard leaks, the Cosby suite, where they would put on sweaters and try and get women so drunk they'd pass out and maybe grope them at Blizzard headquarters, and talked about it in group chats, bragging. It's like some of these people are just psychos. They don't even notice.
I mean, the Activision Blizzard stuff is like, that's not supposed to be a normal thing at all. Like, that's wild. Some of the stuff is going on. I've seen people mention like, oh, it's not that bad, so it's not bad. And it's like, well, no, the Activision Blizzard stuff is just craziness. Like, there's a reason an entire state is suing them right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, people are dead from it.
But this was this was something that's actually been building for a little while. I think when we started hearing some of the complaints that were being filed, I know Axios has been following up on this for a bit. It was starting to hear some rumblings that something like this, a report like this was coming out, and I think they've actually been working on this for a bit. And I think there are actually more things that are probably going to be coming out. So
there's definitely more, and in my stream, I have some experience with the former Aerotech, and I know Aerotech's culture, and it's not all based off. Obviously, it trickles to Nintendo as well. But Aerotech itself, they're play hard, work hard. I've seen it. I'm not saying that I know any of the people that did that there, but I know of it because I've worked closely with them before. So I mean, there's probably some truth to it, or the allegations in terms of some of the things, and hopefully that stuff gets situated, because it's not cool at all. It's never a great work experience to have that type of stuff. So
there's definitely a line in for the press to Nintendo, because as soon as Doug Bowser sent that internal memo, it got published online. So it seems like somebody's feeding info to the media right now too, and I don't think that'd necessarily be Doug Bowser. So it's interesting for that end there. But it seems like there's just a very odd relationship that's set up right now there for the contractors and the full-time employees, and kind of the conflict there between like how they're trying to handle all of that.
Contracting, it sucks. Like I help people get jobs, staffing, and a lot of the times this type of stuff happens within contracted work, and it's not very good. And then as soon as you say, well, I'm going to go somewhere else, somebody else will just fill in that spot. No matter how bad it is, people need work so bad that they're willing to put up with whatever, to work at places, which is unfortunate. That culture has got to change. If contractors are just replaceable instantly, which unfortunately they kind of are. Like, anytime, I always had a million candidates, I just have to find the best one, and if you don't want to take, let's just say, this dollar amount, somebody else will take it,
The stuff in that report that was like really crappy is like the contractors were not allowed into the cafeteria. You had to eat in separate rooms and shit. That was terrible.
That was another report that came out before this one, where it's like you got the red badge. They're called like the red badges, and then like get another building that was for the contractors, and there was like this relationship between them where it's like if you can get in with one of the full-time employees, you can go to the Christmas party and that kind of stuff. And it's this weird power imbalance thing that's like obviously has pressure and coercion and stuff so
this Christmas party must be really, this is the second time we've heard about these Christmas parties. It must be really good or something. They want to get into them.
Mario takes his top off and he showed you those nipples.
Like, some of that shit when I was reading it, I was like, okay, a Christmas party, like
I hated my Christmas. I never went to the Christmas party.
I went because we would get a Christmas bonus.
There was also stories.
Wait a minute, you got a Christmas bonus if you went?
At my job, yeah. So that's why I'd go.
I mean, I just had to drive to Los Angeles. It was on my dime. Like
we also had the story of the full-time employee that was stalking a contractor for like a year. So there's some pretty serious ones in there as well.
For sure.
Up on.
I think the Christmas party thing, is just illustrating the different
us versus them mentality.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if you work there as a contractor or a full-time employee, you should be treated the same. And
yes,
it's as simple as that.
What it really boils down to is Kit and Krista, time to step up. Let's hear your side of the tale. I'll actually watch one.
Now they have a fun podcast over there, Sean.
It's too wholesome for me.
Okay. Let me go to the Axiom, who says, "How does the Simpsons collection like TMNT from Konami sound? Is it possible? Who would you like to see make a new Simpsons game? Oh, a new one.
Well, if you do a collection, what do? Hit and run is the only.
It's got to be hit and run.
I mean, no, but that's not
Simpsons
Konami.
Wrestling. Simpsons Wrestling.
Okay, he's saying like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection, but a lot of those games were done by Konami. With the Simpsons, it was just one and done.
Yeah, it was all.
Well, maybe somebody could gather them up somehow. I mean, that shit. A lot of that stuff's just sitting around. Somebody's got
all the Genesis games, all the
the Game Boy
arcade, the bowling game.
Those games are terrible. Virtual Bart, that sucks. Bart versus the World, that sucks. But the only good one was the damn arcade game.
Yeah,
bowling's good.
Could you take the arcade game, bowling, hit and run, and like road rage, and just throw it on a compilation for $25 and call it a day?
You could throw that on a compilation for $60. Fucking HD graphics on that hit and run.
Dude,
giddy up.
I love Shredder's Revenge so much. It's legit. Probably it's easily my top 3 favorite games of the year. I want that team to do a new Simpsons beat 'em up because holy heck, there's so many characters, there's so many levels. Like they would make that so good.
This is from Suppa Sandwich, who says, "Has the Spawncast seen Dragon Ball Superhero? It's very good. I think only Sean has seen it. He went to the movie theater twice to watch it. No, I have gone through the entirety of the plot and everything because they started just spoiling it anyway online. I was like, well, let me see how this happened, the different forums and all. It looks like a fun movie. I just want to go see it in action. So
yeah, same. I want to see it.
I hope it just comes to it. It'd be nice if it came to a streaming service, even if it was like Crunchyroll or I don't know where they put it.
Bro, just go to 1, 2, 3 movies. That's why I watched the Orphan movie, and you see like people walking in front of you and shit.
Sean, that movie's on like, is that on Amazon Prime and like?
Yeah, to rent for currency.
No, I thought that. Oh, is it? It's Paramount Plus. Where is that movie? Is it Paramount?
I don't have Paramount Plus.
Which movie?
The Orphan first, the new one.
It's Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is Paramount? Paramount's not the one that has WWE, is it?
No, it's Peacock.
Okay, yeah, because I have Peacock.
Sometimes if you have cable, like they'll just give you Paramount for 30 days. I think Xbox even gave you that for having Game Pass at one point.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh, your time is up. We're gonna charge your card.
They were trying to. I think they were doing it because the Halo like series was there, and they wanted people to hate the entire franchise more. So they gave us 30 days to like watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
my favorite bootleg video story. I bought a DVD that was a bootleg of a movie called Doomsday because it was like some old early 2000s bad action movie, and it was like a guy with a camcorder in his jacket, and he sits down, turns it on. It's like the beginning of the movie, and about halfway through.
Nice.
Oh.
They got him.
They got him.
Halfway through.
He's gone.
DMCA. There we go.
I used to go to New York City though and we used to go all the time. You go to like Chinatown and shit and just get bootleg movies and CDs.
Oh, God, they got me.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Okay. So in the middle of the movie, the guy's jacket closes, and you hear an employee walk up and say, "Is that a camera?" And the guy goes, "No." And his jacket opened back up. It's the rest of the movie.
Also, I like how Sean just tuned his Ford Pinto, but the $10 a month Paramount Plus is breaking the bank.
It adds up. I don't pay for the fucking Peacock. I use a friend's.
Oh gosh. Matthew says, "What is everyone's favorite God of War games?" Mine's definitely God of War 2. Love the pod. Keep it up.
First one.
I like God of War 2 on the PS2, and then I like God of War 2018 on the PS4.
I'm going to say 2018.
I only like 2018. I actually hate all the rest.
Jumping.
Yikes!
About the jump.
God of War 2 was an incredible experience for such a late PS2 game. God of War 2 for me, that was just nuts.
This is from Venom. Says John should do videos of him finding the issues in his friends' faulty computers and fix them. Better, I should try to walk them through it while they are blindfolded.
Ooh,
I could be fully visible and I would still fail at it. So.
Yeah, it's like keep talking and nobody explodes because I'm too stupid to fix it.
Let's see. This is from Derek. Says I saw Kip live in Gatlinburg yesterday.
Kip Winger.
Okay. And when he played 17, all I could think about was RGT singing "She's Only 17."
She's only 17. 17. It's a catchy song. I shouldn't say it's a good song, but it's a catchy song.
I've never heard that. Jesus.
The Axiom says Kojima premiere a new trailer for Death Stranding. So that's the other things people believe, that what he was showing on Twitter was a trailer for Death Stranding on Game Pass, but maybe that was just to throw everyone off. We'll see. Jeremy says, just bought Xenoblade Chronicles 3 yesterday. I've never played the others and trying to figure the game out. Any tips, help, or advice will be appreciated. Thanks in advance. Love the show.
They give you plenty of tips. The game holds your hand for hours.
There are tutorials. There's tutorials for literally like the first 20 hours or something.
Yeah, so. Read them all carefully. I will say experiment with the classes. Even if you don't think about it, go into the menu and switch your class whenever it maxes out. It'll help you a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I would just at least have, if you're starting out, like at least one from each class. Like set yourself with a nice defender, attacker, healer, and try to work them out to break, topple, daze, flip them around. Try to get those combos going. Build up your chain attack and just lay into them. That would be my strategy.
Also read the tip. Like if you're ever worried or forget something, read the tips menu. There might be some stuff that you miss. Especially once they start stacking on a lot of mechanics on you, because they just keep stacking new mechanics on you. So just go back in there and read it if you forget.
Yep.
Or you can actually do you can replay the tutorials too, so you can replay them as well. Yeah.
And Jacob says, I started The Boys and in season 2, it's the best TV show. Sean, get on that. The Andrew says, congrats MVG on being acquired by Embracer.
Thank you.
we can actually go over that now for the acquisitions, because the other night I get I start getting messages on Twitter and they're like, you got to look at this, look at all this stuff that's happening. It was happening in real time because they were putting press release out one after the other, and it was just them buying company after company. They were buying intellectual property rights, and I realized this I think lines up with one of their investor briefings or something, and they putting the information out for them. I don't know when the limited run, for example, closed, or the Lord of the Rings stuff closed, or any of that, but it was all hitting at the same time. They now own Middle Earth Enterprises. That's the intellectual property rights to Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. Limited run games. Tuxedo Labs. Tuxedo Labs is they apparently specialize in tech-driven games. First title was Teardown. Tripwire. They made Maneater, Killing Floor, Rising Storm. We have Singtrix. They create vocal processing effect technology for karaoke, gaming, and equipment. Tatsujin. It's actually their first Japanese studio. They have, I don't know what they have. Doesn't mention here what they've made. What looking at?
Aren't they the ones that own the Tollplan arcade games?
Toplan. Okay, shoot 'em up studio. Toplan's count. Okay, yep. Bitwave Games, Swedish studio with a passion for retro games. There we go. Geotech. Gaming accessory brand. So they might just make their own accessories too. And then another company within PC console gaming that for commercial reasons is not disclosed today, but they did say it's like second or third highest acquisition out of these. So it's clearly not worth more than Middle Earth Enterprises. That was a big one. And I'm maybe even limited run. But it's probably going to be in there with these other game studios, like maybe Tripwire or something. So we can kind of speculate a little bit as to what that other one is. But I'm trying to figure out what Embracer's strategy is over the last 6 years. By the way, they've built this entire empire in less than a decade. It's been 6 or 7 years. They started out, because we've been following this. Evan knows we've been following THQ Nordic, Embracer. We've been following this for years in Newswave. I've been talking about their acquisitions for so long, and just watching them build this quickly is baffling somewhat, but I'm trying to figure out what their plan or their end game is here. Like, do they eventually want to get acquired by Microsoft or Sony or something? I don't know.
I think so. I made a video about this on Thursday that kind of did really well. So thanks to those who watched it. But my theory is I think they're doing the Dell strategy, which is like in early 2000s, Dell sucked and Alienware was great. And Dell managed to sell 100 million crappy PCs and bought Alienware. I think that what their Embracer Group strategy is, I think it's death by 1,000 cuts. They're just making literally, don't they have like 400 separate intellectual properties now? Like they could just remaster everything. Like just make Soul Reaver and Tomb Raider and I don't know, gobbledygook and sell all of it and then buy whatever company they want afterward.
Embracer Group currently has 220 game projects in development. And I believe 25 of them are AAA game sizes, whatever they themselves regard that as. But there are at least 25 of those bigger budget titles by the end of 2026. Like that's actually quite a few games in that kind of budget range in 4 years. So it seems like when they get moving, they're going to be moving quick. And we know they like to do a lot of the older titles that they bring up. They've acquired rights to things like Deus Ex and Tomb Raider. We assume they'll probably go back and get those old titles and move them up to newer platforms now. But even then, limited run games, people are looking at them as a more or less a publishing division where they know how to get the physical games out to people a year later, but they get them out there. But maybe that'll speed up now. However, they have something kind of interesting. They have some technology. They have a game engine.
Yeah, some asshole, I think, made it.
Yeah, the Brits made it. They called it the Invasion.
Well, you got to remember, Limited Run used to have an in-house studio as well that did
Mighty Rabbit.
Yeah, Mighty Rabbit that did Breach and Clear, because at their old, when I went to visit them, you went up a set of stairs. It was an office building. You went, one side was the Limited Run stuff, and the other side was Mighty Rabbit, and like it was almost like two different worlds because they were developing games at the time. I know they haven't really done much lately. It seems like they've kind of shied away from that. But yeah,
someone here keeps showing up in the credits for these limited run games things. These games that are going out there. What is this technology, MVG, that I guess now Embracer Group's acquired along with limited run?
Yeah. So the backstory is I contract for limited run, so I'm not an employee there. So technically, I'm not an Embracer employee. The super chatter that did that, but when I started at Limited Run, it was about 3 years ago, and I jumped on board because they wanted to build an engine to run retro games. So they brought me on for that, and the engine is called the Carbon Engine. And if you look at the press release for the Embracer acquisition, they mentioned the engine multiple times.
They pointed out specifically,
yeah, which I got to be honest, it was very humbling in many ways. And
they wanted that. They wanted that engine, MVG.
But I mean, I think it just goes back to what you said, John, about they're really focusing on the retro space because they did some other acquisitions around retro releases and stuff, and they valued retro IP pretty highly. So yeah, I guess they own that engine now. But the good news is, at least from what I know, and I will say that I haven't really had a chance to talk to anyone about the acquisition yet at Limited Run because it just happened kind of towards the end of last week. But from what I know, it's just going to open doors up for better releases to come out. So hopefully, crap like Bill and Ted is not anything that we're going to see anymore. It's going to be of a higher tier, because I mean, if Embracer owns all these like old dormant IPs and throwback games and stuff, then it's going to be a lot easier to acquire licenses to remake those games. So I think there is, I guess, some concern that when the big entity comes in and just snatches up all these smaller companies, what does that mean for the industry? Will that change things? But I think from a customer perspective, I think only things will get better. I do expect to see a higher quality of game releases from LRG going forward, and I also think that they will also help with some of the issues they have around the distribution side. Where it literally takes a whole year to get Quake and stuff like that. So you know, having them as the parent company now, I think is only a good thing at the end of the day.
What is this Carbon Engine?
So the engine, it's just basically an engine where it allows you to bring back play old retro games. You know, it's as simple as that. It's emulation. You know, so it's but it's geared for specific games, right? So it's not just like an emulator that plays like everything. You know, right. So if the next game we do is, and I don't want to say any games because people are going to be like, oh, you're working on this. But if the next game we do is, let's say, the next Shantae game, right? Which it's not, by the way. Then we're going to get the engine tailored for that next release versus just an emulator that runs
it's a way to kind of get things started from the beginning, and you're like, okay, now we just want to kind of mold it to this game to make it.
And it's been developed and ported to all consoles, so it runs on Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Takes advantage of all the social features of, you know, consoles, has trophies and achievement support and all that sort of stuff. So it's something that we use to quickly spin up releases where we're doing pitches for different companies. So, for example, this year at GDC, we ended up doing a couple of games just to show some potential partners, and so it's something that we use like internally as well to do demos and stuff as well. So it's pretty good, and I definitely see why Embracer sees the value of it in, you know, with their stuff.
Dude, MVG, you're a genius, man. I can't believe you made a game engine. Like, I have to fucking pour credit on you. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
I have to I think that's a really big reason why Embracer looked at it limited run and was willing to pick, because they could publish games themselves if they wanted to for the physical. Based on what they're doing with their library of intellectual properties, and they see a way to get things streamlined and done, I wouldn't be shocked if the engine was the real reason they were like, yeah, we got to get limited run. We got to make this happen.
See, I'm more of the mindset of X-Trash lost to PlayStation.
MVG isn't a real dev, just indie imports, no AAA. Hey, they came in and picked up limited run, and his engine's in the press release. So
yeah, what have you done, X-Trash?
Extra.
Probably made 100 stock accounts.
You know, I also gotta say, X-Trash, you always give the tiniest super chats, and normally I don't say that, but look at this little cheap bitch.
Dude, if you're gonna insult me, at least do $5. Come on.
Yeah, come on. You look at this blue text little super chat bitch.
God dang. I wasn't even gonna say that was rough, and I'd be saying some stuff.
RGT loves all super chats on the after show.
Shout outs to the small super chats.
So with Embracer owning them, do you think you're going to get your Quake copy now?
I got it 2 weeks ago.
It showed up
on my Twitter.
Nice.
It showed
I
up.
don't read anyone's Twitter.
I finally got my Quake 2 weeks ago. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully they will help with the supply stuff, the publishing side of the company, which I don't know nothing about. Like I'm in as much in the dark about that stuff as you guys are. Like I don't know why things
just don't want to take the heat.
No, dude, for real. I don't know why it takes so long for some of these releases to come out. But hopefully Embracer will smarten and speed that whole process up. I think that'll be really cool.
Let's look at some of the other ones. We have Middle Earth Enterprises. Was it weird to anyone that just randomly a press release goes out and Embracer Group now owns the rights to Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit?
That's bonkers. So I was in the book business for 10 years, and occasionally you would hear stuff about the people that control Lord of the Rings. They rule it with an iron grip. So the fact that they managed to come in and buy, I mean, it must have been hundreds and hundreds. Like, it must have been nearly $1 billion to get this. That's insane.
Well, they have Jordan. Did you say how much it was?
700
he did
something.
Yeah, I thought he said. I think he said 790 million.
According to Embracer. Okay. This
50 million.
I see. Okay, according to Embracer, acquisition Middle Earth Enterprises, limited run games, Tuxedo Labs, Tripwire Interactive, Singtrix, and the undisclosed company have a combined upfront cost $576 million, with further payments linked to financial and operational targets, bringing the total potential cost to $787 million. So yeah, basically 790. Yeah, that's they had financed when they were doing the Square deal afterwards. They financed another $1 billion. So this is I mean, most of that. It's like $200 some odd million. Apparently, that was all kind of set up for acquisitions. So this is a good chunk of it right here to get all of that done. So Middle Earth Enterprises, though, I was not expecting Embracer just own Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit, but
I don't know how they're going to make their money back on that. Like, I don't know. Like, I like Lord of the Rings. They're going to have to do an MMO or something, or start making movies. Gandalf's first
games, man.
kiss. I don't know.
It's just, I don't know. It's a weird buy for the company. Game wise, sure. Like, there's stuff you can do there. With like the movies and like now, because we have the Lord of the Rings show that premieres in a few weeks for Amazon, which is like one of the most expensive shows of all time. It already has a season 2 in the works, and I don't know, like with how expensive that is, what and how much this group just paid for it. I don't know where that leaves the show or what they want to do with the franchise anymore.
Where does the company get money from?
It's like a hedge fund or something. Yeah, it's like
it's these private. It's like these 6 Swedish mega millionaires pulled together to create this slush fund group, and they started just buying up parts of the gaming industry that were broke, like THQ, and then it's sort of
$1 billion though.
They just borrowed. They just financed $1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're borrowing money to do acquisitions. They're basically. Yeah. It seems like they're setting themselves up with the hope that they are actually going to put out like 200 some odd games in the next 5 or 6 years, and it's just all going to add up to them getting a bunch of money. So I mean,
that pie chart of the entire industry, they own like literally like 30% of the entire industry is just them now.
They have, I mean, they're making some of these bigger deals. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. At the end of that THQ Nordic showcase, they have a South Park deal. Apparently, we don't know what that is, but it seems like they're making moves to do quite a bit. I mean, we see Dead Island 2. That's from them. We get Saints Row. That's from them. That's coming out next week. And apparently they have more reveals for Gamescom, and then afterwards is what they mentioned here. So they could show us Time Splitters at Gamescom.
Oh yeah.
See, like you start to realize, and you're like, what? Also, they mentioned to their investors that a large AAA game, moved from one studio to the other.
Well, we know what that is.
Yeah. It's Knights of the Old Republic remake. It moved away from Aspyr to
Saber.
I have to assume it's Saber. Yeah, that would make sense. Saber can probably handle that. They said, though, no delay.
That was weird.
Right?
Like, there's no way that game is coming out this year.
No, I think they say no delay internally because I don't think it was ever actually going to come out in 2022. Because you hear like the developers, they're like, 2024 sounds better. Maybe that's what it's always really been, but Aspyr was trying to pitch themselves as we can get this thing done now. I don't know. It does sound weird, but they seemed kind of confident on where they were sending it, so we assume Saber. That makes sense, but I'm sure we'll see a follow-up with that from Jason Schreier. Seems really plugged in for that situation right now.
Are we worried about this becoming a monopoly? Because we've never seen someone scoop up so many studios and so many properties so fast. In fact, people are like pretty much spamming Monopoly in chat right now, and I've never seen so much get scooped up.
Here's the thing, right? Like, look at the movie industry, and Fringe back me up here, but there's only like 3 big movie companies, right? Like Sony Pictures, and there's like 2 others, right?
Disney.
So there were 6 big powers. One of them disappeared when Disney bought Fox. So now there's 5 major studios out there. Paramount being one of them right now, who is like killing it this year. Universal, which is doing great. Disney, Warner Bros, and Sony.
Yeah.
So
that's how the video game industry is going to end up. Like, it's inevitable that it's going to end up the same way.
The same.
Oh yeah.
Music industry, yeah. Most of the big dogs are gone. There's only like 3 big companies. I mean, it is what. At the end of the day, it is what it is. As long as you, a consumer, are benefiting from it, who cares?
Well,
like,
I guess
cares?
Something I'm curious about, and this is a real specific question I want to pitch to the cast, which is that something we see Disney do a lot, which is where a tiny indie person makes a really good indie hit for low budget, and it's great, and then they just instantly have them direct a Marvel movie, or they give them a big budget for the next project, like Taika Waititi or something. Do you think we're going to start to see that, where so much the industry is just owned by Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Embracer, Tencent, that every indie game ends up getting bought up as well. Like everything just slowly joins the miasma.
But isn't that a good thing for the indie companies? Like,
I guess, but I'm wondering if I feel like a lot of creative stuff, I don't know if it would exist. Games like Journey and stuff. Imagine trying to pitch Journey to Sony and say, hey, it's a game where you just float along on sand and tweet.
Yeah, it depends on the contract and stuff, because a lot of the times in comics, Sony, since they run a lot of conventions, will usually buy rights to things that you're making, but then do nothing with it. So you get like no royalties and shit, but you're not allowed to use it in other situations. It's not good.
Yeah. And the reason why, for like the movie example, while they'll go to like an indie director and then get them to do a Marvel movie next or something, it's usually a cheaper investment, and it's someone who is willing to listen to the studio's directives more, rather than a top tier director who's already been in the industry, who wants their own voice and wants more money. And then what happens is that person will go from the Marvel to the Star Wars or something else, and then be stuck in this bigger landscape and away from the indie projects they wanted to do. And that could definitely be something we see in the games industry then. So like you said, we may not see as many like Journey type games, and you'll see these creators being put on these big AAA games. But I also do, if we're buying up this much and just kind of combining it, I do see a rise of the AA coming back. And we're seeing mid-tier games. We're seeing a lot more remasters or remakes or franchises that, instead of being written off for taxes and just sat on, like we just said, like just holding the rights to something, just kind of come out of nowhere and be a thing because it's cheap. It wouldn't be expensive, and that's how you recoup a lot of these major costs.
I guess my thing is, I see a lot of people in the chat are saying this isn't good. This isn't good. RGT, you're wrong. Okay, let me take that. So let's say this isn't good. Let's say this isn't good. It's obviously happening. It's happening. And what can you do about it? What can I do about it? Nothing. We're just one individual. We're a part of the consumer pie. I'm more of the mindset where sit back, let's see what happens. If it ends up being good, then great, everyone wins. If it ends up being a shit show, what can you do? Like, what can you do to stop it? What can you do to change it? Like, I would rather just look at it from a potential positive mindset than a negative one, which is very odd coming from me, but
So here's where it could kind of start to turn into monopoly talks, because you see how fast they're growing and they're spending a lot of money. Let's say these games start coming out and they don't hit like they need them to, and they're not selling well enough, and they're kind of in trouble with going like belly up with expenses. A company generally will come in and then buy a company like that. So like you could see Microsoft walk in and be like, we'll take everything if it gets to that position. Then you're like, whoa, Microsoft owns like everything.
And what's crazy is you literally just described what happened to THQ in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. The loop, the cycle.
So that's when you start to go, oh, okay, hold on a minute. they just bought 400 some odd intellectual properties overnight.
How is it saying that's like saying I have no power to stop it, I will consume it? You don't have to consume it. If you don't like where the video game industry is going, you don't have to support it.
They can't control themselves, Sean.
There's literally millions of games
leaving.
and literally tons of systems with libraries that you have not experienced, that you have not played all of these games. If I always say, when everything goes all digital, I probably will bow out from the current gaming landscape.
No,
you know what?
No, you won't. You were playing xCloud the other night.
It was terrible. There's so many games. I'm playing Shenmue again, right, literally right now. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's like no one has still given me an answer about what you can do about it.
Did you download Shenmue?
I had it on my Xbox already.
Is it a digital copy?
They all are.
Yeah, they all are.
Like,
no.
Even if you put a
so
disc in,
even if you put a disc in,
what?
You're finally playing a digital game. I'm done.
Please tell me Metal Gear Solid 5 is physical. Tell me Metal Gear Solid 5 is physical right now.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I have to go to sleep. I have to meet Charlie and his goons at the arcade tomorrow at 7.
I love Charlie.
The thing with what we're seeing here, they've at least said the right things. They just need to put out games that are good and that'll sell. That's all. They've said, hey, we're not interested in blockchain stuff. We're gonna go back to basics and just release games. rather than release one game and try to support it for 10 or 15 years. So that's
I feel like they've sort of answered a question a lot of people have been asking over the course of the last couple of years, which is why more old games aren't coming back. It's kind of weird that there's stuff that people own that just hasn't come back, like Soul Reaver. People constantly bring up Soul Reaver. I think clearly that would be profitable.
And finally it is. Finally it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, not even a sequel. I mean, just literally, why can't we play those games? Why can't I pay money for them right now? You know?
Trying to get licenses for some of these old games is like a minefield of just red tape and lawyers and bullshit.
That's why Embracer's trying to bring it all together.
I mean, if you've got a parent company that basically owns all that stuff, it makes things a lot easier. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just make it a lot easier to do that stuff. But I'll also say, I mean, you know, this is a pretty big acquisition, right? And it's only time will tell how this will end up going. I mean, I think it will be a good thing for the industry, but I mean, if people have reservations about this stuff, they should, you know, like I wouldn't say, you know, don't worry about the future of gaming. Like I would say, you know, if you have concerns about it, then, you know, I think that's a fair opinion as well.
I mean, Square wasn't going to do too much anyway with some of these properties. Like I was actually shocked that they even announced a new Tomb Raider, to be honest. So at one point,
you know, John, that's the most important thing. Like, I understand the concern, absolutely the concern from the chat, probably people commenting, but like, what are we going to do about it? And nobody's doing stuff with the IPs anyway, right? So it's kind of like, give them a shot to try it, because nobody's doing anything with this.
That was the thing,
going to do anything.
Yeah, when it got announced, everyone was like, Soul Reaver can come back. Square hasn't touched it.
Yeah, we need to wait and see how it's going to turn out. I get the concern, but there's no point in worrying and concerning and complaining about somebody who's willing to buy something that nobody's using or that somebody wants to sell. So it's like, I don't really see, there shouldn't really be too much concern outside of, well, we'll see what happens, but it really shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, this is bad, this is terrible from the, like, nah, it's too early for that.
OJ, to me, that sounds like you're throwing up your hands and dooming our future generations to a worse hell because they won't even try and slow down our decline, let alone attempt to stop it.
All right, Sean, what's the plan?
So then, okay, I
literally somebody said that in the chat, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, so then, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm stupid. What's the plan, homie? Let me know. What's the plan?
No,
let's figure it out. We're gonna roll up there with what? With some weapons, or what are we gonna do?
No, it isn't. It's people's jobs. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I mean, no,
is it your job?
Asking a question, like,
is it your job? Because video games technically is my job, and this is something that would impact me. It would impact everyone on this panel. It would impact MVG as someone who made a engine for the company that we're talking about. So it seems like you have a very strong emotional attachment to this, and I'm trying to figure out where the emotion is coming from. And we could take this in I want to know the plan.
I'm there to help. Honestly, like they know it's bad. Okay, well, what do we do? Let's hear the plan. Let's go.
Viva la revolution.
Also, they are a multi-platform.
I'm ready to hear a plan. If there's a way to stop it and everything can be balanced equal, okay, let's hear it.
This is MVG's fault. That's what we're really boiling it down to. Why
really
the fuck
is.
did you?
So there is one other studio that they acquired, and they're not sharing which one it was, but they said it'd technically be on the higher end of the list of studios here in acquisitions, which again, I have to imagine Lord of the Rings and Limited Run are at the top of that list, I assume, for pricing or purchase prices. So I'm trying to figure out what this other studio is. I kind of have a guess that I'll throw out there. Anyone have any ideas?
I have no clue.
I have two guesses, and I don't know this, but I think either M2 or Way Forward.
Oh, Way Forward would be interesting. That's not bad.
M2 would be cool though.
M2, yeah,
cool, right? Because they're the kings of
collections. They're the collection kings.
And we're OJ and I are fine. We're just wondering their stance on it. It's nothing serious. I'm just wondering
John, who do you think it is?
I had Techland written down.
I said the chat was. I said I was wrong. I was saying, what do you guys want to do? Well, I legitimately whatever.
You know who they should buy? They should buy Konami.
Techland's a good picture.
Yeah,
I had Techland written down. I don't think they're too large to be purchased. They did Dying Light 2 recently.
That's a good one.
well enough. And
did you really write it down like pen and paper?
I actually typed it down when I was going through it. That's actually when it happened, because they mentioned it. I was like, let me write some up. Okay, and I looked them up. I'm like, Techland could work. That kind of fits as like the second or third largest acquisition out of this list. And if you look at their like some of the stuff they've worked on previously, funny enough, Dead Island from 2011. So there you go. And then Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, Call of Juarez. Like, they don't have a massive library of games that they've worked on, and they have what 100 employees. So I can see that happening, but we'll see. There's a reason they didn't tell everyone about it. I'm not really sure what that is. But
I don't know. I like M2 for it, because like they're really on this retro thing right now, you know. And who better to have in your arsenal as those guys?
It's a good one. I didn't even think of M2. That would be, for what they want to do with like older titles and stuff. Yeah, M2 would make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
That's 51 employees.
I guess the only thing is, I think the only thing against M2 is they don't really own anything. They're just like an amazing studio that does some really cool remakes and remasters and stuff. So I don't know if they actually have any value as far as ownership of games that they specifically own. But I mean,
that actually would make them cheap then.
Yeah, well, I guess it would.
Didn't Microsoft buy some studios that hadn't released games yet simply because the employee and talent was so good? I mean, maybe it could be that. Of buy M2 because M2 is fucking great, and then put them on shit afterward.
Like, there's been talks that Microsoft and certain Affinity, for example, that might happen. But yeah, I think Techland, that's the one I'm calling right now. But watch, there'll probably be some studio that no one's really ever heard of, and they look it up like, oh, they did that game. Okay, cool.
Nintendo. Well, Platinum.
That is Platinum. I think.
Wait, who just burped?
Doesn't
no comment.
Doesn't Tencent own like 40% of Platinum or something?
They own a good chunk of it, because they did a pretty big investment. I think Platinum's going to take a shot at this Project GG, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's like their big shot, though.
I was thinking Platinum as well, but like Nate told me that Tencent had a big stake in that, so I don't know if that's a thing. When
you see like Tencent and stuff on the books, it's like, well, we have to contend with them and figure out how to either work with them or get their stake from them, and that ends up being a whole thing too. Let me, Evan, we got Discord questions left?
I guess for the last topic, is it good or bad that Limited Run got acquired? I mean, we kind of went a little bit over it, but
I'm neutral on it. I don't know. I mean, I don't think one or the other, really.
From my perspective and the people I've spoken to that work at LRG, everyone's very, very excited about the future. Oh. But having said that, wait and see what happens. You know, give it a couple of years. You know, if things are still haven't changed, then you could say, well, was it really a good thing? If things are worse, then, you know, but I would hope and I would expect that things get better with LRG. I know they've had some issues, especially around, like I said, shipping delays and times and stuff. So hopefully things will get better.
You think next year E3 comes around, you think Embracer just does their own showcase for like all of their different branches? They'll come together and they do some big blowout thing like a Microsoft showcase, Nintendo Direct, or something. Do you think they just really make a big push and they're one of the big shows at E3 next year?
I don't know if that's their style. Like, I feel like they're just this company that sits in the background and just every 3 months just snaps up more studios. I don't know if an E3 thing is their style.
What's weird is they do they just did the THQ Nordic one, right? They did a showcase there. And last time they did a showcase, someone was like, oh, cool, Time Splitter's going to be here. And they were like, no, that's Deep Silver. That's not us. And people are like, what? I don't understand. But if you look at their graph they have so many studios and publishers that are like, they actually are. They're like, THQ Nordic's over here, Deep Silver's over here. And it's like, they don't actually interact. So that is a good point if they would have multiple.
But LRG has their own E3 show, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe they will consolidate all of them in one big thing.
Put it all together. Just do one big show.
It's a good question.
I want it to be like a creepy cult video, and they come out and they go, "Time to be embraced by gaming." It's just like 800 games.
Just do it Heaven's Gate style.
Yeah,
don't do that.
We must now drink the Kool-Aid of good old remakes.
The Nike's ready, nice and polished.
Yeah.
This is from Ish Wiz, who says, "Want to give OJ a shout out. He deals with much hate." Shout out to OJ.
No, the hate that I deal with is not that bad. A few comments here and there is okay, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Domination says, "What Mario character would you all be in real life?"
Shy Guy.
Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Wario.
You'd be
Wario.
Wario.
Definitely Wario.
I'd be Wario.
Oh, yeah.
I have long, thin arms, and I have a fucked up nose, so I'm Waluigi all day, baby.
I don't know who I'd be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
Jordan, you could be Daisy.
All right.
Put the dress on.
This is from Ian, who says, "Fold technology in the new Switch. Also, thanks for all the great content." Foldable screens. Like if they go that route, like that with the Razer phone and like with the Surface Duo and stuff, I don't know. I mean, the technology's there. It seems like it's gotten cheaper than it was years and years ago. The only thing I see with that is Nintendo might be afraid of user error. They're very cognizant of people breaking stuff.
Yeah,
because,
but I mean, they've had dual screens before.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like that. The screen on the hinge. I don't know. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing it because I feel like Nintendo could do some cool stuff with that where it opens up to one big screen, and that could be interesting. But then we get back to the idea of them going to dual screens, and it's like, do we want them to do that? I don't know. Although I wouldn't mind them doing that, and you set it down on like a dock that's just there. Like you set it down, and then it goes to the TV. And it like wirelessly charges your device. I'm getting ahead of that, but
yeah, a little
that's
bit.
what I wouldn't mind seeing. You close it up, you put it down, it charges, and the display goes to the screen. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. This is from Solo. Says, "Hot take: Final Fantasy IX is overrated."
Whoa, man! You can go and ban that guy. What the fuck?
007 says, "Have you guys built a top PC but went back to consoles? Since I had kids, no time to drivers optimize, and other than HB games are no longer cheaper on PC. Humble bundle games. Built to go back to. I mean, I just have one alongside of it. I haven't really gone back. I've just always done console stuff too." But Evan went from consoles to PC. At one point, he was the big PS2 guy back in the day.
Yeah,
and then you tried DSi guy.
Then you tried to get me back into consoles, and that didn't work.
Attempted.
Exposed.
Yeah, I gave you Armored. You got Armored Core 4 Answer on the PS3, and
you gave me a PS4 and Spider-Man, and I was done with that.
You played all the way through Spider-Man though on the PS4.
Yeah, I had to.
Now it's on PS3 or PC.
I do not want to play it again.
You don't want to play it again. He tried it. From Chris, who says, "Hi everyone, I'm thinking about converting my physical collection to digital and selling it off. Any cons to this? Thanks."
Yes.
All right, Max.
You'll want to keep if you don't really care or have a real love for a certain game, then it's whatever. But if there's a game that you really love, just to be safe, just keep it. Like, sell all the other stuff, sell all the random stuff that you don't care about. But because there's always going to be a chance that it's not going to release on another console, or if it does release on another console, then you won't have a chance to play it.
I mean, I'm currently trying to sell off my whole game collection. I think physical media is important, but I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where I have a huge book collection. I'll keep my hundreds of books, but I feel like games, I don't know. I'm always piled over anyways. I don't know. I think I'm less concerned about physical games lately.
But if you need money, sell it. Yeah, like somebody just said in the chat.
Yeah, I am curious if this ends up being the last generation for the PlayStation, Xbox for physical games. If it'd be time to buy when stuff gets a little cheaper, because that ends up being like a very nostalgic thing for people 20 years from now. A game on a disc. Oh, wow, it's amazing.
Shenmue is on multiple discs on the Dreamcast.
It is 4.
They took the kid's soccer ball. I'm having to get it back for him.
Hell yeah, brother.
This is Alvin says, "MVG, if you guys want to remaster Oni, I'd pay whatever you guys charge for it."
Okay.
$10.
Who owns that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Bungie?
Oh gosh, do they? I have
might.
not looked into that.
They might own Oni. That's a good question. I'm pretty sure it's Bungie though. I think it's Bungie.
Who published it? Take-Two published it.
People are saying Take-Two.
Take-Two. Bungie West developed it, but Take-Two published it.
There you go.
So I guess Take-Two would have. I don't know if Take-Two.
I
get that.
A Rockstar Games logo. Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna go back and get it, but it'd be kind of cool if they did. I don't know.
Damn, she got a lot of big old guns.
Team Slayer. No message
talking
there.
about
Team
that
Slayer.
game, actually.
10 says, so MVG altered history by making the game engine. Dan says, here you guys defend Microsoft while they buy up all these IP they had nothing to do with creating. Has been embarrassing to watch. Please stop.
Who's defending what?
These motherfuckers make shit up in their head and then get mad about it. They're like, you are sucking off PlayStation when no one's talking about PlayStation or some shit.
I'm talking about Shenmue.
Dude, yeah, I'll suck off Shenmue. Hell yeah.
I bought an Xbox Series X. I'm sorry.
I bought an Xbox Series S today.
I feel sorry for you. Wait, why didn't? Oh, never mind. You already have an X. Never mind.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Yep.
Capitalism, Dan. Joel says, do any of you guys have P.O. boxes? Would love to send cool stuff. I do not.
I don't either.
Oh,
I closed mine down.
Too much of a hassle.
Jeff Grubb is sucking off Wave Race 64. Yeah, that's shit.
Oh fuck yeah!
I mean, yeah.
Oh, nice. Let's all jump into a room with that. 4 of us can play, right?
I forgot that it was only 2-player until
got
Nate
Mario Striker.
reminded me.
No, yeah, it's only. I think that the original N64
The original- it was just-
Yeah, they were only
yeah,
2
2 players. Yeah.
just that's why the GameCube one's better. Let's go.
No.
Ew.
Can I play 4 players on the N64?
You can play 4-player games. A lot of games.
4-player on
You can play a lot of 4-player games that are not very good. Hold on.
Oh no.
Matt's a little boy about a grandma.
Someone in chat said, I really want to suck off a new F-Zero. Whoa, buddy, suddenly too far.
Cedric says, MVG,
I mean,
since you're from Australia, I'm curious on your opinion around the talks of reviving the Tasmanian tiger. They put like a
the Tasmanian tiger.
He is revived.
Thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger.
Oh no, he's talking about the actual creature. I know exactly what he's talking about. Scientists are trying to bring back the
that sounds like the start to Jurassic Park.
It literally does. Like it literally is. Like
as modern cinema taught us nothing.
Why the fuck would you do, like, what's the benefit? Just to say, oh, look what I did. But you know, then you had to
hard flex.
You'd have to take into account what happens at the science labs that we don't know about. Skunk Ape.
Oh gosh. Save it for the after show.
But he just clipped the word Jeff Grubb while I'm sucking off.
Spyro says suggestions for digital 3DS games before they end. Oh, before it goes away. Oh, dude, Capcom is running a sale right now, I think, right? There is actually a pretty good 3DS sale going on right now. On the man, I have to bring that up. I feel like there are some really cheap games right now to pick up. No, okay. Capcom.
Minecraft on 3DS. I kind of like it.
3DS has a gold mine. I highly suggest like any of the Atlas games, all of them almost. So
Resident Evil Revelations, $8.
SMT4, you know. Radiant Historia. There's like a bunch of games on the 3DS that you should check out. Or was that DS for Radiant Historia? Either way.
Great.
Atlas
I think
games.
it's DS.
Yeah, that's DS. My bad. SMT4. Go get that.
Mega Man Legacy Collection, $5 on 3DS. There you go. A lot of Phoenix Wright. Oh, all the Phoenix Wright stuff is marked down 83%. Gosh. Yeah, I would go look right now at the page for 3DS. I think a lot of these companies are just starting to put stuff on like massive fire sale discount. So now would be the time to pick up anything digital.
Someone said Pushmo. Pushmo rules. Get that game.
Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Oh gosh.
What was I playing? I was playing. Oh god, was it called X Zone? Project X Zone?
Yeah, Project
X Zone and Project X Zone 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing that recently for the first time. It's amazing.
It's a cool combination of just a bunch of fucking characters.
Banana says, I wonder what will happen with the Lord of the Rings MMO now that Embracer owns the IP.
They'll make it good.
Is it still going? It's still going? If it is, they probably just start collecting the checks from it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And this one is from King, who says, with all the IPs that Embracer Group owns, now could they enter the console market and be successful? Not yet.
No, not yet.
That is something else to think about. I wonder if that seems like a waste of their money because they can release on all these platforms. I don't know. That'd be weird.
I don't think there's going to be any more consoles. I think Sega talked about this a couple of years ago, like maybe 12 years ago at this point. But they basically said that once you lock yourself into a console, you kind of wall off a lot of profits. I think Embracer makes more money playing in everybody's field.
You know what's really interesting is when we do get to that all digital phase, I wouldn't be shocked if another console showed up. Really? Like where there's no more physical media at all and it's just all digital stuff, because Sega kind of hinted at that idea. It's like, that'd be kind of cool, right? What do you think about a new plug and play system that's more premium priced? And that kind of sounded like they would attach a marketplace to it and stuff.
You know, I think that a company would do that, and they'd make it like, they wouldn't make it so competitive. Like they're like, hey, you can release on here, you can release on wherever. They're not going to make it to like, you got to get our device. It's kind of like you said, like an extra type of thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, once you don't have to go through the distribution of stores and they got to get like your right box art, the disc or cartridge, or using all of this, I feel like that does take a lot of the hassle out, and they'd be maybe somewhat interested if you're a Sega or someone who can do it. Embracer, I think they're going all in on software right now. They'd have to start recouping some of their money before they start losing money on hardware. So they got a long road ahead of them if that's what they want to do. Rob says if they own Way Forward and Limited Run, then there will be no reason for LRG to release Shantae games. They'll cost $500 on eBay when pre-orders close. Hellman says, calling it now. GoldenEye 25th anniversary is the 25th. The remastered version will show up on Game Pass. GoldenEye's 25th anniversary is the 25th?
That's a fun conspiracy theory.
Where is it?
I was going to say prepare for disappointment, but...
Oh, August 25th. Oh, it is.
There may be something with GoldenEye.
Wait a minute. What did you say? What did you say? Hold on. The 25th that's during Gamescom.
Bro, if we get some GoldenEye shit on the same week that Cowabunga collection comes out,
it's a good week.
It's a good
Wait a minute.
I'm definitely going to be sucking off.
Wait a minute.
August is the month where something is supposedly happening with GoldenEye.
Oh. Wait, that's this week.
Yeah, it's this upcoming week.
Dude, if they drop it, because for those who don't remember, there are achievements and stuff live on the Xbox servers. Bro, if they drop that, we all have to play. I would love to record some.
Yeah, we are definitely playing that. We're all gonna we'll all jump on and play. That would be wow. I didn't realize that'd be a good opening night live announcement. It's not too big of an announcement for Jeff Keighley, I feel like, to put in there and be like, that's fine. It doesn't have to go to the Game Awards. Now I'm expecting it. Thank you.
Yep. In his weird way of talking, he'd be like, this game was a big phenomenon and launched co-op shooters. It's GoldenEye.
Do they have to release it on the 25th or just has to be there for the 25th?
I don't know, because I mean, there's still the Nintendo angle, right? That we don't really know where that fits.
You could announce it, and then
you could announce it.
Have maybe say coming this year or something, and then you give a release date at a Nintendo Direct or something.
But how it's on the Xbox servers? There's data that shows that people are playing it. Like it's done, right?
Right, but it's employees that are playing it.
No, but if it's on the server, doesn't that mean it's close to done, or am I smoking
made it for
crack?
themselves?
Well, no, supposedly it's been on the server for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, usually if achievements are up, it means it's pretty close to final.
I you know what, I'm going with that theory, the 25th. They're absolutely right. I think it's going to happen. And MVG basically said it too. Okay, so blame him.
No, I can't do that.
Hellman, where
I can't do that again.
No, yes. Just like we held him accountable for Banjo at the summer presentation this year.
So what happens if this week, right, for Gamescom, GoldenEye gets announced, and then they tease a new Banjo-Kazooie? What happens then, Sean?
Videos will be made calling out everyone that attacked me and sent me death threats and talked shit about me.
Jeff Keighley, make it happen. Or you'd be allowed to post on Reddit again.
Yeah, I get my Reddit access back as well.
On there again.
Me and Nate are gonna walk in like Vince McMahon.
Oh,
but dude, you got death threats for real,
dude?
This is Banjo,
yeah, man.
From me,
Banjo.
MVG,
send him a message every day. You fucking piece of shit.
Just pull like 10 grand out of your bank account and be laying on it in the video and go, guys, I accept your apologies.
Imagine giving a death threat over a stupid looking Banjo. And man, people out here really got it.
People saying weird shit. I got flooded with death threats when I said Fallout 76 sucks. People are fucking freaks online.
Hey, that's not happening over here with the GameCube, okay? It's that N64 stuff.
Hey,
we need to watch what we say.
Let's we go over to Streamlabs here as we finish up. There will be an after show. RGT will be hosting that on his RGT Live channel. Let me go starting with OJ Player Essence. Where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, find me right here on YouTube. Shout outs to everybody that comes through. I run the pre-show, so if you want to just get ready for the show and all that, answer questions on there, talk about games. Got some cool RPG stuff coming up, and it's not all Xenoblade, so that's cool, right?
What? Bullshit.
Well, I talked about Final Fantasy. So
Xenoblade was on the thumbnail, but it was actually about Final Fantasy.
No, I talked about. I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy 16 quite a bit, so I'm starting to talk about that some more. They're talking more about some other RPGs that are coming out as well. Persona is coming out on all the different platforms. Persona 5 Royal, PS5, Switch. I'll be talking about that. So if you're into RPGs and if you're into streams, I stream 6 days out of the week too. So if you're into that, check out the channel Player Essence on YouTube. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate it.
Evan, you said we have Discord questions left still.
Yeah, we have a few. We could probably try to belt through them. I don't know.
Okay. I just have a couple Streamlab things and just 2 super chats came in. We can go through those and then go to the after show. Go ahead, Evan.
All right. With 1 hour a day to play video games, how many do you think a person could beat in a year?
1 hour a day. That's 365 hours.
Yeah, and
pretty good.
Not all games are over 8 hours, so you could beat a ton of them.
You 10 to 15 easy.
You could beat Elden Ring and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Good.
Most games are still about 10 hours. I think you could probably
30.
beat. Yeah, I think you could beat like 30.
Yeah. Go Evan.
Is there any easy way to clean dust that might be in my Switch?
Oh, in the Switch? Like in
compressed
the
air.
You'd have to, you could try shooting compressed air into the top vent while the fan inside is spinning, so it can try to chop up some of that dust and shoot it out. Otherwise, you got to take the back off and then take that fan out so you can get to the back of the heatsink. That is a bit more of a process. I would start with the compressed air and then look up YouTube videos otherwise.
Excluding boycotting, is there any other option that gamers can do to actually kind of force game companies to improve themselves or their games?
I mean, backlash works. I mean, we've seen that time and again. Voicing, like, not always, and not if there's enough billions on the table. Complaining about Call of Duty won't change Call of Duty, but if you manage to get a ball rolling, I mean, we've definitely seen times where games have been delayed. Look, we got Sonic fixed in the Sonic movie. If you bitch loud enough, they will listen.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna try not to go too far into this. Thoughts on the God of War trailers kind of spoiling a few things?
I mean, yeah, it happens with all of this stuff though.
The trailers? We've barely seen anything on God of War.
I think you're saying like some of the characters, some of the events that are being shown, and almost like some of the bosses that are kind of being teased too.
Well, here's the thing: we don't know it's officially a spoiler yet, because all that could happen in the first 10 minutes of the game. That's what I was
about to say. Jordan's absolutely right. Like a lot of stuff that we're seeing could happen very early on.
You only know something was spoiled in a trailer if you go and see or play the product.
Jordan is right.
About to say, if that's they spoiled everything in Xenoblade, then
yeah.
they show you stuff that's like hours and hours and hours into the game, but you don't know at the time. You don't know.
Nah, it's really funny though, because you go through to like, they really showed that to me first thing. Jordan, where can everyone find you, man?
You can find me on my channel, Jordan Fringe. I'm currently working on this like 5-hour video. It's like 100 pages in the script so far. So yeah, if you like me talking for way too long about a cartoon, you check that video out when it drops.
You have another Discord question, Evan?
Why does Nintendo need to greenlight GoldenEye for Xbox release, but didn't need to for the original Perfect Dark, Banjo, or Conquer?
Perfect Dark, Banjo, Conquer all went to Microsoft as part of the Rare deal, whereas GoldenEye is tied up with 3 different parties, MGM, Nintendo, and now Microsoft. They just own part of it. So Nintendo still held rights to it because they were tied up with MGM. So it wasn't as clean of a transaction as Perfect Dark or basically any of the other Rare ones. That's basically why.
what time do you film, edit Spawn Wave so it's ready every morning?
The day before.
Yeah.
Usually I try to go and record between 4 and 5. And then Evan edits it from there when he's able to. And then I look at it later on that night and upload it.
Yep. And then last one, light or dark mode?
Dark mode.
Yeah.
Dark mode.
Dark mode.
What are we,
Yes, dark
savages?
Few here at Streamlabs. Liam says, I just wanted to thank all of you for your entertainment here and on your channels. I started watching in March 2020 after school closed, and I've been watching since. I was a sophomore then, and I just started college on Thursday. Thank you so much, guys.
That's wild to think about.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Liam. YT Sucks says, YouTube is Sony fanboy. I mean, it did strike over an Xbox URL. So
True, yeah. So, Sony actually said X trash. Or YouTube said X trash.
Ricky says, big fan of everyone here, the content y'all make. My question for the group is, what do y'all think your breaking point will be in gaming? Sean already said his. I feel like this gen of consoles is going to be my last, seeing how the digital future is near and the battle pass centered.
Well, it stops being fun. You know, it's really what it is. You know, if it's not, if video games aren't fun anymore, if it's just all live service junk, I may dip, but like until that day comes, if there's still some good games that get made, which I'm sure there will be, then I'm in.
I feel like I love gaming more and more and more. I mean, I've put like 50 hours into Saints Row this week to do a big giant video, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like games, there's so much to choose from now that even though part of this industry sucks, I feel like there's more to choose from.
This is from there's two new members. Agent Redbeard plays asks, Sean, Jurassic Park horror movie. You and Jordan, yes or no, real quick?
Is Jurassic Park a horror movie?
Jurassic Park horror movie. Like, would you like it like a horror movie?
I wrote for a channel a couple of years ago about Jurassic Park being a horror movie. It absolutely is shot and written like a horror movie.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I think that's what he's getting at too.
Okay. Then look at it's Jack saying 7 months. I can't even count that high. Shout out to the members there. Let me go over to Max, Dreamcast Guy. Where can everyone find you?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast Guy. 9 a.m. Monday morning, I have a 17-minute long review of Saints Row. Go watch it. I've been editing it this entire weekend, and I'm really damn proud of it. I talk about every aspect of the game, so if you're curious about it, I did everything. Go watch it.
The dick sliders in the game?
I did, yes. You can make your dick. I don't know if I'm allowed to leak this. There is a groin slider. You can make yourself have a dick bulge so big it flops.
Yeah, you could do that in the pre-build that I did a thing for. So.
I love, bro. Wait till you can fly in the game. Wait till you see your dick flapping in the wind.
MVG, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. Check out today's video I did on 360 games running on the Steam Deck. And I have a video Monday about Wave Race as well. Ooh, so check that out.
Awesome. Okay.
Wave Race 64, that is.
Wave Race 64. The inferior one. Dan Becker says,
the better one.
Dan Becker says, last week, many of you talked about Sony whining as Microsoft buys up a bunch of IP they didn't create with money they didn't even earn from gaming. That is correct. Right? That's right. Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, Sony was definitely on the defensive for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hyatt says, did you watch the Completionist Quest 64 video? I couldn't believe he didn't give it the sequel rating. I really feel like RGT needs a new game to play right now.
I'm playing Shenmue. I just got to the harbor, and the guys are beating up some guy. I'm trying to find harbor number 8.
Okay. On a Ship says, shout out to RGT85 for introducing me to the cast. Always enjoy Spawn Wave in the morning along with my boy OJ. Been enjoying watching Dreamcast Guy also.
Thanks, on a Ship, man. You're the homie. Thank you.
And Medley, no message here. Let me go over to Evan. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kimmerix Project. If I'm doing anything, streaming or otherwise, which I'll get back to streaming this week, I'll be announcing it there as well as showing projects I'm working on.
Okay. I think I have everything here. I think I got everyone on the pen. Sean,
drop your
close
link.
us out. Let us know where they can go.
You can find us on the RGT Aftershow. I'm dropping the link to the channel right this very second in the chat. Also, go watch the clips highlights from today. There's lots of weird stuff in that because I'm a weird individual. And yeah, we'll be live in a few minutes. I got to take a whiz and this, that, and the other. But yeah.
Very cool. All right, got everyone. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have the Gamescom stuff to talk about. Maybe GoldenEye. We'll see. We'll see you guys then.
Bye. Flop your dick.